Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the murder of Elijah Lovejoy. This presentation is made by Muzana Noor and Leila Enshif. So first, who was Elijah Lovejoy? Elijah Lovejoy was a man of many qualities. He was an editor, a journalist, and a vocal abolitionist. He started his career as a teacher and found it boring, so he started editing for the St. Louis Times paper in Missouri. Within these papers, he wrote about how he condemned slavery and was against harming black people because it wasn't morally or ethically right. That being said, Missouri was a slave state, and when he was asked to tone down his writing, he obviously denied because freedom of speech. So in order to avoid the mobs and the violence, he moved down to Alta, Illinois, which was considered a free state, but the people down there still had limitations on black people. They still treated them differently, and majority of them were pro-slavery. So it didn't really change much besides the fact that it was labeled a free state. He then began writing for the Alton Observer, which was an abolitionist newspaper, and the people did not like that. The pro-slavery mobs would continuously destroy his printing press, but he always rebuilt it and kept his production going. They always rallied against him, but he stood firm on his beliefs. Now our thesis is the dangerous struggle for freedom of speech and justice in the early 19th century is illustrated by Elijah Lovejoy's journey from teacher to passionate abolitionist and his ultimate sacrifice. His unwearying dedication to publishing anti-slavery views despite violent opposition made him a martyr, igniting national outrage, strengthening the abolitionist movement, and exposing the widening divides that would ultimately result in the Civil War. Now, significant facts. Elijah Lovejoy sparked his interest was when he witnessed a black man in Illinois who was burned alive. This man was accused of stealing, and he was chased by persecutors. He ended up taking one of their knives and killing them. So, what did they do? The pro-slavery mobbers tied him to a tree, and they burned him alive. Now, Elijah Lovejoy was already an activist before this, but this ignited a fire in him to strive harder. On your right, you can see that this is the remains of his printing press that was found at the bottom of the Mississippi River. Believed this is in a museum somewhere in Illinois. Now, the accident. What happened? Lovejoy and one of his friends, Hurlbut, his abolitionist friends, were heading down to the Godfrey Gilman warehouse to protect the Abolitionist Observer's new printing press that came out. Because, Lovejoy already knew that there was going to be people out there. He warned his friend. And he was right. Outside, there was an angry mob that already gathered. They were throwing rocks and damaging the warehouse. And eventually, things escalated to the point where they decided that they're going to start a fire at the roof. So they brought a ladder and they set it up. And the first time, Lovejoy managed to knock down the ladder, so they set it up again. He came out a second time trying to be sneaky. This time, they were hiding in bushes. And they came out with a gun, I believe a double barrel, and they shot him. He was wounded 5 times to the chest and died within the minute. Hurlbut then came out, brought his friend back into the warehouse where he waited for officials all night. Eventually, the pro-slavery mobbers left, but this night was very significant because Lovejoy became the first martyr of the press.
Let's begin. Your Honor, I call the witness to the stand. Please state your name.
My name is Sam.
Sam, what did you see that day?
I saw a big crowd and people were shouting. It was scary.
Did you see what happened to Mr. Lovejoy?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would like to ask Sam some questions.
Proceed.
Sam, you were afraid that day?
A little. I just wanted to go home.
Did Mr. Lovejoy do anything
No,
wrong?
he was just speaking his maid. Mind.
Thank you, Sam. You may sit down. Now we will hear closing statements. Prosecutor Thank you, Your Honor. Elijah Lovejoy was a brave man. He should not have been hurt for sharing his thoughts. Defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Everyone deserves to speak their mind peacefully. Mr. Lovejoy was just trying to do that.
This case reminds us to respect everyone's voice. We need to solve our problems with words and not violence. Court is adjourned.
As the editor of the Alton Observer, Lovejoy passionately criticized slavery, exposing its profound moral injustices. His writings were powerful calls to action, urging readers to confront the harsh realities of enslavement and recognize their own roles in perpetuating the system. He understood that journalism could be a tool for social change, aiming to awaken the conscience of his community. Serving as a Presbyterian minister, Lovejoy also denounced slavery from the pulpit, merging his faith with advocacy for justice. His sermons inspired many in his congregation to take a stand against slavery, framing the abolition of this institution as a moral imperative rooted in Christian values. Despite facing violent backlash, such as attacks on his printing press and threats to his life, Lovejoy remained committed to his cause. His resolve demonstrated that achieving real change requires immense courage and resilience, even when faced with great personal risk. Lovejoy's work not only articulated the abolitionist message, but also illustrated the dangerous conditions faced by those who stood against slavery. In conclusion, Elijah Lovejoy's unwavering dedication to free speech and justice made him a martyr for the abolitionist cause. His murder by a pro-slavery mob shocked the nation and highlighted the extreme violence faced by anti-slavery advocates. This tragic event drew national attention, galvanizing the abolitionist movement and inspiring many who had previously been indifferent to the cause. Following his death, membership in anti-slavery societies surged across the North and West, as Americans rallied against the violence that Lovejoy endured. His legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the moral imperative to confront injustice and the deepening divides over slavery that would ultimately lead to the Civil War. Lovejoy's story underscores the sacrifices made in the pursuit of justice, illustrating the perilous fight for freedom and equality.
Orders of Christ, today we are here to discuss the...
And I saw it.
Did you see what happened to Mr. Lovejoy?
Yes.
Did you see what happened to Mr. Lovejoy?
Yes.